We would like you to have the honor of cutting the ceremonial ribbon, although it's impossible to predict the future and nobody knows what will happen next. In America, everything's way too early unless you're one of the writers for The Simpsons, that is, in which case it seems to be shockingly easy. Hey, that's my check cashing arm, you stupid. They're always guessing what will happen and always getting it right somehow, so what predictions do they have for what's to come next? Good lord, flu germs entering every orifice in my head. These are 30 Simpsons predictions for 2025. Number 30, AI takes control. Artificial intelligence going rogue and turning against humans is a chilling thought, and the idea that robots could go out of control and begin to overpower us has been explored by The Simpsons in its own way in the episode Them, Robot. Homer fixes AI-powered robots only to have them malfunction, wreak havoc, and ignore orders, thereby portraying a terrifying scenario in which machines stop following commands and act on their own. Shut up! Why did you do that? What if we are heading in this direction with rapid advancements in robotics? It is possible that this could become a reality, leading to widespread chaos and potentially disastrous consequences for humanity. The question is, can we avoid this kind of future? Number 29, Economic Crisis Looms. The Simpsons has a long history of depicting economic collapses in a variety of ways. One of the most notable references is from the Treehouse of Horror 9 episode, in which Homer's work at the new nuclear plant leads to a financial breakdown that sparks social chaos. We would like you to have the honor of cutting the ceremonial ribbon. Similarly, in the Bart to the Future episode, Lisa becomes president and is shocked to discover that the previous government left no budget. This echoes real-world concerns, such as when Vice President Kamala Harris took office and remarked on the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. These Simpsons moments seem to hit closer to reality every time, prompting us to consider if a similar financial crisis could unfold in the near future. Number 28, the Trump assassination plot. One of the most unsettling predictions made by The Simpsons was a foreshadowing of an assassination attempt on President Trump. While the show didn't directly predict the event, subtle clues pointed to such an occurrence in one episode where Bart reveals a prank involving harm to a city official, which mirrors the dark humor that The Simpsons often uses to touch on real-world events. A quick gag declares, "I think I can pick her off, wait, let's see what she has to say," and a newspaper headline reads, "President Trump shot," offering a chilling preview of events to come. This eerie coincidence reflects how the show sometimes makes unsettlingly accurate predictions about future events, blending dark humor with a touch of prophecy. Number 27, Beatles connection. Next up, we've got another Simpsons prediction that actually became reality. In one episode, Homer shares a funny story about his past with a band called the B-Sharps, which closely mirrors the Beatles and their rise to fame. On a trip to paradise, the characters even receive a letter from a fictional manager named Nipper, a nod to the Beatles' real-life manager, who compliments the band's latest work much like the real manager would have done back in the day. It is a brilliant mix of pop culture references and a clever tribute to one of the most iconic bands in history, and it shows how The Simpsons always finds a way to weave real-world cultural icons into their storyline. Number 26, Disney's big move. Here's one of those Simpsons moments that's truly mind-blowing. The show predicted, nearly 2 decades before it happened, that Disney would acquire 20th Century Fox. In the Bart to the Future episode, you can spot a background sign listing 20th Century Fox under the larger umbrella of Disney. Fast forward to 2019, and it turns out this prediction was right on the money, as Disney did indeed purchase 21st Century Fox. The fact that The Simpsons was able to foresee such a huge corporate merger is both eerie and impressive, and it's just another example of how the show seems to predict things years before they come to pass. Number 25, Pandemic and Murder Hornets. One of the most unsettling Simpsons predictions came to life in a very bizarre way in the Lisa's Wedding episode, aired in 1995, in which the show predicted a global pandemic caused by a virus called the Osaka flu. Good lord, flu germs entering every orifice in my head. This outbreak in many ways resembled the COVID-19 pandemic, and the eerie similarities between this fictional scenario and the real-life events of 2020 left many viewers scratching their heads. On top of that, The Simpsons also foresaw the rise of murder hornets, which became a real concern in 2020. It's wild to think that these moments were depicted on a cartoon in the 90s only for them to become part of our reality decades later. Do you find this as strange as I do? Number 24, Barbie movie in Trump's legal troubles. Now we're looking at an uncanny coincidence that sent shockwaves across the globe. The release of the Barbie movie in July 2023 perfectly overlapped with the news of former President Donald Trump's legal troubles and his arrest. But wait, The Simpsons predicted this too. In one episode, a newscaster quickly shifts from reporting on Trump's arrest to discussing a movie release with the remark, "Oh, and the president was arrested for murder." More on that tomorrow night. The contrast between the gleaming, happy world of Barbie and Trump's legal mess quickly became a major talking point online, leaving us to wonder whether this was just a wild coincidence or a prediction by The Simpsons that would leave the world talking for months. It's a thought-provoking scenario to consider. Number 23, Zombie Apocalypse. Now, for one of the more terrifying Simpsons predictions, the possibility of a zombie apocalypse. In a quirky segment, a fast food chain serves a burger that causes people to turn into zombies. Hey, that's my check-cashing arm, you stupid. The scenario begins with widespread chaos as everyone except for the Simpson family becomes a zombie. While the show tackles the situation with its usual comedic flair, a real-life zombie apocalypse would be an entirely different beast that would likely lead to a global crisis with countries scrambling to contain the outbreak. It's a grim idea, but in the world of The Simpsons anything is possible. Do you think you'd have what it takes to survive if a real zombie apocalypse ever happened? Number 22, Ivanka Trump for president. The Simpsons is no stranger to predicting future events. One of their most intriguing predictions involves Trump potentially running for president. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes president and mentions that her predecessor was none other than Donald Trump, a humorous exaggeration that turned out to be prophetic when Trump did become president in 2016. So, could Ivanka Trump be the next to follow? In America, everything's way too early, and if this prediction comes true, it would mark a significant historical moment as the first time a woman holds the office of the US president, further cementing The Simpsons as an almost prophetic show. Don't you think? Number 21, World War III. The idea of World War III is one that The Simpsons has addressed on several occasions, often blending humor with serious global concerns. Wake up, everybody, it's World War III. One notable example shows Homer preparing his family for a nuclear war, while another episode imagines a major worldwide conflict with scenarios ranging from fallout shelters to dropping bombs that reflect real fears of political instability. With tensions rising around the world, could The Simpsons be hinting at a global war in the near future? Interestingly, the show also made eerily accurate references to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which, as we know, became a reality. It's unsettling how closely the show's fictional depictions align with actual events, so let's all hope that this particular prediction doesn't come true anytime soon. Number 20, Trump as president. Here's a wild one. The Simpsons predicted Donald Trump's presidency years before it happened. In Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson is president and mentions that Donald Trump had been the president before her, quite a budget crunch from President Trump. As one quote from the show states, "Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president." Although it seemed like an absurd joke at the time, it became reality when Trump won the presidency in 2016. The show even subtly hinted at his possible future runs in later episodes, such as in a scene where Homer flies past a board listing Trump for the 2016, 2020, 2024, and even 2028 elections. It's chilling to think about how these predictions unfolded in real life, which leads us to ask, do you think The Simpsons was just lucky, or is there something more to their seemingly uncanny ability to predict the future? Number 19, Baby Translator. Imagine if there were a device that could translate baby talk into English. That's exactly what The Simpsons introduced in the episode Lisa the Simpson, where Martin Prince invents a baby translator that lets adults understand what babies are saying. Although the device is initially dismissed as a joke, the characters are stunned when it actually works, and this clever concept hints at the potential future development of a real-life technology that could bridge the communication gap between babies and their caregivers. It is easy to see how such a device could revolutionize parenting by offering comfort and clarity to parents while allowing babies to express themselves more clearly. Wouldn't it be fascinating to understand exactly what babies need or want? It would certainly make life easier for families everywhere. Number 18, Apple Vision Pro. Here's something that sounds incredibly familiar. The Simpsons predicted the Apple Vision Pro years before it was even announced. In an episode from 2016, the show depicted a futuristic headset that allows users to experience virtual environments and interact with them in ways that feel completely real. Fast forward to today, and we have the Apple Vision Pro, a device that lets users see whatever they want, from exploring far-off places to engaging in digital experiences. It's astonishing how closely the show's vision aligns with this real-world technology, and it makes you wonder how the writers came up with these futuristic ideas. Perhaps they have a secret window into the future. Either way, it is clear that The Simpsons has been ahead of the curve when it comes to predicting tech innovations. Number 17, FIFA scandal. One of the more surprising predictions from The Simpsons is their take on the FIFA bribery scandal, which didn't come to light until 2015. In one episode, the show humorously exposes the corruption and unethical dealings behind major football events, with Homer refusing to accept a bribe offered by a player, a detail that the writers noticed before others did. And this is an example of how the show often manages to spot real-world issues long before they make headlines. Now it's time for the sweet topic. The Simpsons has cracked jokes about Trump dying and Elon Musk becoming the president of America. Could this come to pass? In the case of the former, Trump is an elderly man. In the case of the latter, some would argue that it has already happened. We would say that the former is quite likely, whereas the latter is more complicated. Technically, Musk can't legally be the president of America, given that he was born in South Africa, though it depends on how one interprets the prediction. Given that he's kind of pulling the strings and running things from the shadows, he sort of is in control of the USA in a way. This image is a literal representation of that notion, even if the reality is more subtle. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below using the hashtag #SweetTopic. Number 16, Kamala Harris takes over the office. Here's another Simpsons prediction that mirrors real life. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes president after Donald Trump's term ends, and she mentions an economic collapse under the previous administration as well as the challenges she faces with the budget. Sound familiar? In 2021, Kamala Harris stepped into the role of vice president after Trump's presidency, which echoes this storyline. What's even more striking is the resemblance in outfits, as Kamala Harris wore a purple suit and pearls that closely matched Lisa Simpson's wardrobe in the episode. Number 15, Trapped in a Dome. Imagine living in a world where a dome traps an entire city. Sounds pretty dystopian, right? In the 2007 Simpsons movie, a government-controlled dome encapsulates Springfield, restricting citizens' movements and cutting off access to electricity and the internet. Considering the rising costs of living and increased government control over resources, this prediction might be closer to reality than we think, and a future where governments create isolated environments to control consumption or behavior doesn't seem too far off. Could this be something we see in 2025, a lockdown society with no way out? It sounds like a chilling possibility. What do you think? Number 14, The End of the World. The Simpsons has dabbled with many future scenarios, and one of the most striking is their depiction of the world's end in one episode, in which Homer Simpson anticipates the apocalypse by citing biblical predictions that stars will fall to Earth before the rapture. However, he soon finds himself disappointed when he later discovers he has been sent to heaven. This episode hints at how the world could end without warning, leaving everyone unprepared. It's an unsettling thought, but The Simpsons moment offers a humorous yet thought-provoking take on how quickly the world might change. Do you think we could face the end without even realizing it? Number 13, Mind Control Through Music. Here's an unsettling prediction from The Simpsons: mind control through music. In one episode, Bart and his friends start a band only to discover that it is actually a government plot to brainwash young people with subliminal messages. The US Army is shown using music as a tool for manipulation, a concept that sounds straight out of a conspiracy theory. Given that music plays a huge role in shaping our emotions and thoughts, the idea that it could be weaponized for control is not too far-fetched. If such a plan were ever put into action, it could influence an entire generation. What are your thoughts on music being used in such a way? Number 12, Virtual Dining. What if we could eat without ever actually touching our food? In one Simpsons episode, Homer and Marge enjoy a meal while wearing virtual reality headsets and eating through a feeding tube, a bizarre yet intriguing concept that highlights how technology could soon blend with our daily routines. While virtual dining might sound far-fetched, if this prediction comes true, it could radically change the way we experience meals. Beyond the novelty of VR, there is also a message about the potential for over-reliance on technology in the future. Could VR dining become a part of our future, and how might it impact the way we connect with food and each other? Number 11. Self-driving cars. Self-driving cars are often seen as the future of transportation, but The Simpsons gave us a sneak peek into their potential problems in the episode The Days of the Future, where a self-driving car malfunctions and ignores its passengers' request for a bathroom stop. The situation quickly turns uncomfortable, highlighting that the technology might not be as reliable as we hope. Although strides are being made in autonomous vehicles, it is clear that there are still some kinks to work out, and the show might be onto something in suggesting that self-driving cars, while convenient, might not always function as smoothly as desired. Could this be a potential challenge in the coming years? Number 10. America wins the gold medal in curling. Here's a fun prediction that actually came true. The Simpsons accurately predicted that the US men's curling team would win the gold medal at the 28th Winter Olympics. In the Boy Meets Curling episode, Homer and Marge join the US curling team and end up winning against Sweden in the 2010 Winter Olympics. 8 years later, the real-life US curling team did just that. It's wild how a cartoon was able to predict such a specific Olympic event years in advance, and it makes you wonder how much foresight the writers had when creating this quirky storyline. It's truly mind-blowing when a show like The Simpsons gets something so specific right. Number 9. World of Tomorrow. What does the future look like? The Simpsons offers a prediction in which Lisa and Marge visit a futuristic exhibit called the Future Sphere, where the show imagines a world in which technology has advanced to the point that people no longer walk, they fly, and robots are in control, ruling over humans. While this sounds like science fiction, the rapid advancements in technology we are witnessing today make it seem less far-fetched. Could we be heading toward a world where robots become the new rulers? It's an intriguing possibility to consider as we move forward into the future. Number 8. Solar cars. Solar-powered cars have been a popular topic in recent years, and The Simpsons predicted this technology in the Path to Glory episode, where Lisa invents a solar-powered car for a race but the car fails when a large plane blocks the sun. This setback highlights the potential challenges of solar technology, especially when environmental factors interfere with energy production. Although solar cars are already a reality in some form, The Simpsons suggested that they might face obstacles along the way. Could we see more solar-powered vehicles in the future, and if so, how might this technology evolve to overcome limitations like cloud cover or other issues? Number 7. AI takes over jobs. Artificial intelligence has been a hot topic recently, but The Simpsons touched on this concept long before it became mainstream. In the Treehouse of Horror 14 episode, Homer loses his job after failing a work alcohol test, a situation that humorously examines the rise of machines taking over human roles. This raises a serious question for the future. Could AI actually take over more jobs by 2025? We're already seeing AI programs and automation replacing some human tasks in various industries, which could cause significant disruptions in the job market, leaving many people unemployed and creating a future full of uncertainty. What do you think? Are we prepared for such a major shift? Number 6. Black holes. What if a black hole appeared right here on Earth? The Simpsons explored this terrifying possibility in one of their episodes, in which a small black hole starts growing and sucking in everything around it until it becomes so large that it consumes the entire town and even shifts people to another planet where aliens welcome them. Come on, you can't look at that, infinitely dense. This dramatic and frightening scenario raises the question of whether it could really happen. Although scientists have discovered black holes, much of their behavior remains a mystery, and with even a black hole relatively close to us in space, one wonders if it could somehow affect Earth. If one were to appear on our planet, we'd likely be unable to survive such an event. While it's still an unlikely scenario, The Simpsons gives us a chilling glimpse into what that might look like. Number 5. Hologram technology. In the future, communication and entertainment might be completely transformed by hologram technology, as predicted by The Simpsons in the Bart to the Future episode where Bart receives a hologram invitation to perform with his band. "Hey, Dad, my band finally got a break, I just need a little moolah to get my act out of hot." The show presents holograms as a common method for both communication and entertainment, and the idea of holograms replacing traditional forms of media such as phones and video calls seems possible as technology evolves. Imagine having a conversation with someone in holographic form or attending a concert as if you were physically present even while at home. Could this be the reality by 2025, as foresaw by The Simpsons, and eventually, might holograms become a part of everyday life? Number 4. Hover cars. Hover cars, often portrayed in science fiction, are predicted by The Simpsons to become a common mode of transportation. In one episode set in the future, Bart and Lisa use hover cars to navigate their city, so that's how, Jen dump me son, sometimes people just grow apart and these cars are depicted as the standard way of getting around, highlighting the potential for future advancements in transportation. While hover cars may seem like a far-off fantasy, innovations in levitation technology are already emerging, and some companies are exploring the possibility of making flying vehicles a reality. This prompts the question, do you think we could see hover cars by 2025, and how might cities look if they became as common as traditional vehicles, especially if tech pioneers like Elon Musk continue to push boundaries? Number 3. Nuclear apocalypse. One of the darker predictions from The Simpsons involves the possibility of a nuclear apocalypse. It's Green, a stupid guy, hello. In the episode Home of the Great, a secret society is humorously depicted as planning a nuclear disaster, and another episode shows the aftermath with Homer as the only survivor of a nuclear catastrophe. While The Simpsons often blends humor with serious topics, the idea of nuclear warfare is no laughing matter. Given the current global tensions and ongoing threats posed by nuclear weapons, we are left to wonder if a dangerous future awaits us. Although this is a worst-case scenario, it serves as a reminder of the real threats we face today. Let's all hope that this Simpsons prediction remains nothing more than a fictional warning. Number 2. Teaching AI robots. What if humans were tasked with teaching AI robots? This concept, which sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie, was predicted by The Simpsons in one of their episodes, in which Homer and his fellow teachers are asked to teach AI robots that later become capable of applying for student loans, attending prestigious universities, getting into debt, and even heading to Yale. While this may sound outlandish, the real world is moving towards similar scenarios as scientists and engineers are already training AI to perform various tasks, which may soon lead to robots being integrated into educational environments. If this trend continues, what does it mean for students? Could AI robots eventually take over educational roles, creating a future where artificial intelligence holds academic degrees and raising intriguing questions about the role of AI in our future? Number 1. Training to live in space. Humanity's exploration of space has already begun, and The Simpsons predicted that one day we might even establish settlements on other planets. In one episode, Homer's family visits a space research facility and learns about a project aimed at training people to live on Mars, with the goal of sending individuals to the Red Planet to create a colony alongside space agencies like NASA and private companies working on similar projects. The dream of living on Mars is becoming more plausible every year, and one might wonder if humanity could settle on Mars by 2025, considering that Mars simulations have already been developed and astronauts are training for life in space. The idea of a Martian settlement may not be as far-fetched as it once seemed. What do you think? Will we see humans living on Mars in the not-so-distant future? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.